HBCU athletics. This is a fantastic avenue for all of us. This is our ESPN, so we love what you guys do, and all you guys at BCSN. We really appreciate what it is that you guys do for us.
For 200 years, Montgomery, Alabama has been making history by people who had the courage to stand up for change. Today, this riverfront city has been reborn, embracing the past and looking forward to the future. From the National Memorial for Peace and Justice to the stage of the Alabama Shakespeare Festival, this is where history was and is made. We are proud to call Montgomery home, and together, we can be the change.
The top HBCU programs in the nation come to Montgomery, Alabama's Riverwalk Stadium this May 11th through 14th for the Black College World Series. The best Black college baseball teams in the NCAA Division II and the NAIA will battle for Black baseball's ultimate prize. Games will be streamed live at www.mybcsn.net. Tickets are available now online at www.blackcollegechampionships.com.
The Road to Montgomery is brought to you by Bob James, Attorney at Law, the City of Montgomery, Tuskegee Federal Credit Union, the Montgomery Biscuits, and
Yo, straight from Alabama. This beat is from Youngstown. Was on a hiatus. Watch me, I'm woken them up. Now the industry was hurting, but I done bandaged her up. Now I got too sick with it. Now we done found us an abrupt sound. Look, I be tearing the speakers up and we shaking the whole ground. Found pros in this profession, we calling that profound. Studio in every city, I'm calling that yo town. Some of these words that I'm using make me wanna throw down, but I got humbled in my veins and learned to tone it down. Major league when I'm pitching, I'm needing the pitches, man. Shake the room with my powers and knocking the pitches down. Trying to teach you business first and put your pitches down. Yo. Major, 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 major league. Major, 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 for major league. Major, 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 major league. Major, 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 we major league.
Welcome to episode 2 of the Road to Montgomery podcast, exclusively right here on the Black College Sports Network. Joining me once again today is Michael Coker of the Black College Nines. Michael, how are you doing there, my brother?
All right. How about yourself, AD? I'm glad you got me on board.
And I'm always doing good when I'm here doing podcasting, baseball podcasting, talking Black college sports and everything like that. So this is what's going to happen today. Here's the rundown of the show today. Michael and I are going to open up and talk about some of the players that you need to watch for that will be potentially playing in the Black College World Series. Then in segment 2, we will have Gavin King. Gavin King is a local attorney there in the city of Montgomery. He's one of the boots on the ground, as I like to call him, for the Black College World Series, a great contributor to the Black College World Series. And he's going to give us an update from the Montgomery perspective. Then, just like last week in Part 3 and Part 4 of the podcast, we'll go through the individual teams so that we can discuss who's going to potentially be there, how, why, and what they need to do to get in, and what they need to do, what they can't do to wind up losing out. So before we go any further, I want to tell you guys to log on to www.blackcollegechampionships.com. That is where you need to go to purchase your tickets for the Black College World Series, which will occur May 11th through 14th in Montgomery, Alabama at Riverwalk Stadium. Can't call it historic Riverwalk Stadium yet, Michael. The venue is only about 15 years old, but it's a tremendous venue to be playing Black college baseball at. So, Michael, without further ado, tell us about some of the names that the fans in Montgomery or those who are tuned in on the Black College Sports Network should be looking for in the Black College World Series? Some of the individual players that we need to keep an eye on.
Well, AD, I'm glad you asked me that because I got two fresh from two different teams with two different styles of play, and they're the next up and coming HBCU baseball stars. From Florida Memorial, you have Isaiah Esperanza Santos, freshman pitcher, left-hander.
Say,
What he
say,
did last
say that
week,
say that name again for those who may have, because it is a Hispanic name, and some of us have trouble with Hispanic names. Because say that last name once again. We want to make sure we give him his proper credit.
Isaiah Esperantus Santos. Esperantus
Okay.
Santos.
Okay. And where is he
He's a
from?
freshman.
Where is he from?
He's from New Jersey, but he's an East Coast kid by way of New Jersey. He is a freshman left-handed. He's 6'4", and he throws hard. Now, he's had two major wins, and those wins came against two ranked teams. Last weekend, he upset the number 7 team in the nation with 10 strikeouts, all in relief. In February, he struck out, at the time they were ranked number 19, Warner, with 9 strikeouts. And he's a shutdown reliever. And then there's Miguel Orapanza from Talladega, freshman catcher. He's batting .500, which is third in the nation. And he has 5 home runs and 42 runs batted in, which is third in the Southern State Conference. These are two freshmen. Keep these two guys in mind as we move forward to 2022 to finish out the season and 2023.
So are they freshmen or are they pre-sophomores by now, Michael?
No, these are true freshmen.
I got you.
First time on campus, first time in uniform.
Gotcha. All right, now you went through some freshmen. We got any upperclassmen that we need to keep our eye out on, Michael?
Well, I have two for you, but there's one upperclassman, and he's Jose Santiago from Savannah State. He has a 2.79 earned run average. In 11 games started, he has won 8 games. He is 71 innings pitched. He has recorded 67 strikeouts. He's a shutdown pitcher who uses every bit of the strike zone. Sounds like Kyle Hendricks to me, Major League Baseball player who didn't throw hard, but he used every bit of the strike zone. This is who Santiago is. And he's got Savannah State ranked not only in the HBCU top polls, but nationally as well. And then there's the freshman, another freshman, Michael Archie. Michael Archie is from Miles. He's batting .370 in 32 games, 10 home runs for a freshman. He has 43 runs batted in. He's putting a meat on the ball. He's driving it to the field. He's just a freshman, and he's another big kid. He's 6'4".
And what position does he play,
Where are
Mike?
they getting these big kids from? I don't know.
What position does he play at 6'4"?
He's an outfielder. Good outfielder, good stretch range. Spent some time at first base, but his natural position is in the outfield. He has a chance to, as the season plays out, make our list of top outfielders that we have. We call it the no-fly zone outfielders. He has a chance to be a no-fly zone member.
Gotcha. All right, so we've gone through about 3 or 4 players that we need to keep an eye out on as fans. So, Michael, unfortunately, only 8 teams will make it to Montgomery. So, what about some of the names that we will not see in Montgomery playing ball for the Black College World Series?
Keep an eye out. I'm asking everyone to keep an eye out on the kid from Benedict College. He has a chance to break a long-standing record, a stolen base record. The current record is at 96. Brandon O'Connor is at 76. He has 20 steals away from tying the record or breaking it. He's batting .434, 1 home run, 47 runs batted in. He has stolen bases against top-rated catchers. In a 4-game series, he had 8 steals. And the catcher got so frustrated, he said, "Dang, that kid is fast." Then the next series, a 3-game series against Lane, he ended up stealing 11 bases. Keep an eye out on Brandon O'Connor. He's a speedster. In 2019, he was crowned the stolen base champion by the NCAA. I think it's going to happen this year, and he's got 9 games to break that record.
All right. Well, he's got 9 games to break that record, and those 9 games had 2 games today against Payne. Don't have the results for those games in yet. He's got weekend series against Edward Waters. That'll be a 3-game set against Edward Waters, and all those games are at home. Matter of fact, looking at his schedule, the rest of his schedule is at home in Columbia, South Carolina at Tiger Field. Got a game next Tuesday against Claflin. And then he ends the season against one of the top-rated teams in HBCU baseball and nationally ranked. Well, they were nationally ranked. We'll see how that pans out after this past weekend series, Savannah State Tigers. So, anyone else that you want to get? How about somebody on the NAIA level, Michael?
Michael Rounds, Payne, veteran, been there a long time. Logged some major innings this year. It's unbelievable. This kid can throw hard. He's gone 122, 123 innings. Didn't want to come out. Doesn't want to come out of any of the games he's thrown. 5-2. He's been there a while. Time for Major League to start looking his way. He's got what it takes. All he needs is that chance.
All right, Michael. Any other last news and notes that you want to get off in this news and notes section there?
Montgomery is the place you want to be. Like the Beverly Hillbilly said, you want to load up your truck and head to Montgomery. May 11th to the 15th.
There you go. And there you have it. Head to Montgomery and make sure you join us at the Black College World Series. Black College World Series, once again, will be held at Riverwalk Stadium May 11th through 14th. So with that being said, we are going to take a break. And when we come back from the break, we will have Gavin King from right there in Montgomery to tell us about the Black College World Series and the happenings that are occurring in Montgomery, Alabama. You are listening and watching The Road to Montgomery exclusively on the Black College Sports Network. We'll be right back.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids' apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
That's right, y'all. The Black College Baseball Championship Series is back. The Black College World Series returns May 11th through 15th to a place where so much black history has been made. Montgomery, Alabama, to the home of the Montgomery Biscuit. That's right. Riverwalk Stadium, downtown Montgomery, Alabama. The cries have been heard, and Black College Championships LLC is here to answer the call. No longer will the poll determine our champion, as the top baseball teams from NCAA Division II and NAIA meet on the field for Black College baseball supremacy.
For 200 years, Montgomery, Alabama has been making history by people who had the courage to stand up for change. Today, this riverfront city has been reborn, embracing the past and looking forward to the future. From the National Memorial for Peace and Justice to the stage of the Alabama Shakespeare Festival, this is where history was and is made. We are proud to call Montgomery home, and together, we can be the change.
The Road to Montgomery is brought to you by Bob James, Attorney at Law, the City of Montgomery, Tuskegee Federal Credit Union, the Montgomery Biscuits, and the Central Alabama Sports Commission.
It's never too early to plant the seed.
My bad. This is what happens when you try to produce and host a podcast at the same time. We are back on the Road to Montgomery podcast. AD Drew here along with Michael Coker, and we are here with our boots on the ground in Montgomery, Mr. Gavin King. My brother Gavin, how are you doing on this fine evening?
Man, I'm pretty good. I took in about an hour of T-ball, and as we sit here right now, my hometown Alabama State Hornets are up a run on Auburn just down the road. So maybe by the time I get off of this, I'll catch the last couple of innings of that.
We're not gonna keep you here too long. Definitely not gonna keep you here too long. Got to ask you about the T-ball, because you know daddies love to talk about their kids and mamas love to talk about their kids. Obviously, T-ball, you don't keep score wins or losses, but where did the game rate on the fun beater? Because that's all T-ball is about, the fun beater. What did that game rate on the fun beater?
You know, rate it high on the fun meter. She's batting 1,000. Hadn't been out all year. Team's undefeated. So right now on the fun meter, things are pretty good. We got to learn before the next level that it's really important to get from each base very quickly, because right now we're kind of galloping and lollygagging. So if there were tag outs, we'd probably be in trouble. We're not really a speedster on the base paths yet, but well on our way. And I'll tell you, you say there's no keeping score in T-ball, but there is a league in Montgomery where they keep score. Our friend Brendan Porter, his son, plays score to T-ball in a different league, and apparently it gets pretty competitive. But we're still in the old-fashioned no score, everybody gets on base.
Good. I know back during my T-ball days when my kids were of that age, you know, my goal was to make sure they just went out there picking up grass and rocks. So that's what made me happy as daddy right there. No grass, no rocks.
Yeah, no grass, no rocks, no tears. Everybody gets their Capri Sun and their chips at the end of the game. You know, that's all you can hope for.
Hey, that's all we played for was the snacks. But now we're playing for more than snacks. May 11th through 14th, right there in Montgomery at Riverwalk Stadium. So, Michael, Lord Jesus, Gavin, give us an update on what's happening in Montgomery, on the boots on the ground and the pulse of the community there in Montgomery as far as this event is concerned.
Yeah, we're still building a lot of excitement here in Montgomery. We have obviously got gracious host in the Montgomery Biscuits. I was just over at Riverwalk Stadium just a couple days ago. They're excited about hosting us. They're excited about the time we're going to get to spend down there. We're working with a lot of local partners who are providing meals to teams. They're all excited about welcoming our 8 baseball teams, yet to be determined institutions, to Montgomery. And our kind of core kind of Montgomery committee is excited about volunteering and have an opportunity to serve all of our players and coaches and fans and teams when they come to the capital city in just a few weeks here.
Michael?
Well, Gavin, how has the community wrapped around the World Series? Will we see a big part of the community, not just at the game, but in engaging themselves with the fact that the World Series is in Montgomery? Because Montgomery, the world will be watching.
Yeah, we've got tons of people who are just hearing about the event, are very excited about that. I think regularly, daily even, talk about it. And there are more people who are excited that this event is coming. And so we're working to get the word out. I spoke today with a public school administrator who's excited about getting a bunch of his young people to the games. And so Montgomery and the surrounding communities are excited to be hosting this. I think I speak on behalf of our community when I say this is something we're happy is here, and we hope that it's here for a long time. So, we in Montgomery are accustomed to the world watching. That's been something about our quaint city for quite some time. Sometimes for good things, sometimes for bad things. But we're excited that this is a good thing, and the world's going to be watching.
Good. You got to follow up, Michael.
Yeah. One more question. Is there any special pricing for kids? Is there anything that mom and dads need to know?
So I know if you are a part of public schools, you can, if you're a public school group or a school group period, for $13, you can get a ticket and get a meal to come to ball games. I think that's an incredible deal. And the Biscuits have been gracious enough to work with us on that. And then I think for students, I think it's $5 to get in, to just get in. And so we would love for students, youth to come out. $5 get you in to see some high-level college baseball. And so we'd love for as many parents as can to get their kids out there and watch people compete at a championship level.
All right. Now, Gavin, I lived in the Montgomery community, as you know, for many years. You live there currently, but for people like Michael who are from out of town, who will be visiting the Montgomery community, and I know some of the things to do there, the history, especially when you're talking about the Black history there in Montgomery. Just for those people who are watching this here on YouTube and Facebook, tell them about some of the other things that they can do when they aren't at the stadium watching baseball, especially revolving around Black history.
This is a city that is steeped in Black history. It is the birthplace of the modern day civil rights movement. And so for those of you who will be in our city for the first time, there are many different sites to see. I would encourage people first to visit Dexter Avenue Baptist Church, which is the church where the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King held his first pastorate and was the place from which he helped to start and lead the Montgomery bus boycott in the 50s. Also here is the spot where Rosa Parks was arrested. And there is a life-size statue at that point that I pass by every day on my way to work. There's also the Rosa Parks Library and Museum here that's open for tours. One of the more recent additions to our kind of tourism here in Montgomery is the Equal Justice Initiative's Legacy Museum and the Memorial for Peace and Justice, which memorializes all folks who were lynched in our country in race-based terror incidents. And so that museum walks through the kind of redemptive story of the Black experience in America, from slavery to mass incarceration is the way they bill it. And it's a very sobering museum for anybody who'd like to go through it. And I've been through it multiple times myself, and every time I'm there, I find new things. And so those are just some of the highlights, some of the museums that I think about, the things I would say, kind of the lowest hanging fruit, the first things I would mention when it comes to museums in the capital city.
And a couple, for those who aren't familiar with it, a couple of those museums that he mentioned are literally walking distance from the stadium. And when I say walking distance, I mean maybe a block. Some of them maybe about 4 blocks. And the ones that aren't walking distance are less than a 5-minute drive from the stadium.
I would say everything that I mentioned is at least in walking distance from me. Now I'm a young man, so my knees
Your knees and back still work.
Yeah, my knees are pretty greased up, and my back feels pretty flexible. But for me, they're all walking distance. I've walked to all of them. My office is right next to the ballpark, and I've walked to all of them. The Legacy Museum, which I mentioned, is literally in right field of Riverwalk Stadium. It is, if somebody really gets into a home run, they might be able to hit the front porch of the Legacy Museum.
All right. And one last thing before I turn it over to Michael. Some of these things are either free or very low cost, affordable cost, family friendly museums. It's not like going to Six Flags where you're gonna spend $200 and still got to buy a Coke to go see go to these museums. So
yeah,
go ahead, Michael. Final questions.
Please remind our fan base of the dates and where this tournament is taking place.
Yeah, well, the tournament is taking place May 11th through the 14th, with the 15th as a potential day for rain. And we'll get kicked off actually on the night of the 10th with a banquet honoring all of our teams. All of the games, all 13 games, will be hosted in the heart of Montgomery at Riverwalk Stadium, the home of the Montgomery Biscuits, who are the AA affiliate of the Tampa Rays. And so we want to welcome anybody who wants to join us. I love Montgomery, and I think anybody who joins us here and gives our city a chance for a few days will love it too.
All right. Any final thoughts you want to get in there, Gavin, before we get out of here and go to this next break?
I don't think so. I think I've just about covered it all. Listen, I'll say it again though. Montgomery is a beautiful city, rich with history. We're very excited for the Black College World Series to be hosted. We really do here in Montgomery believe that it makes geographic sense and historical sense for this event to be here. So we want to be gracious and hospitable host. If you join us here in Montgomery and you see me walking around the park, because I will be walking around the park for the entirety of the tournament, please stop me, say hello. I'd love to welcome you to our city and give you some recommendations on places to eat or visit.
And there you have it, Gavin King, local. Do we want to call it the steering committee or hosting committee? Look, he the boots on the ground in Montgomery for the Black College World Series. Has been a tremendous asset to the team, and I'll say this publicly, Gavin, we would not be here in this position without you, your effort, your leadership, and the people who you've recommended to be added to the team. So I want to publicly say that we appreciate you and everything that you have done, and hopefully we'll be in Montgomery for a long time hosting this event.
I want to add something to that. I want to add something to that, Gavin. I think the world's going to know about you. I'm going to come at you. I'm going to come, and I want to do a story on what it is you're doing in Montgomery and how it's affecting the World Series beyond Montgomery.
Well, I appreciate it. That's very kind, and I'm just thankful to be a part of the team. It's not too often that two loves for me, like the love for my city and the love for Black College baseball, get to marry up in such a unique way. But two of my loves are in this event, so I'm happy to be a part of it.
And he had a chance to watch his third love play some t-ball today. That being his little baby girl. So this is just a love fest day. Gavin King joining us right here on the road to Montgomery, and we will be back after these brief messages. And when Michael and I come back, we're gonna break down. I think let's start with the NAIA teams this week, Mike. Okay.
You got it, brother.
All right. You're listening and watching The Road to Montgomery right here exclusively on the Black College Sports Network. We'll be right back.
From novice to aficionado, find yourself here. High quality cigars plus personal customer service. Slow Burn is Waco's only mobile cigar lounge, featuring a meticulous, curated collection of premium cigars. Visit our website, www.slowburnwaco.com. That's www.slowburnwaco.com.
For 200 years, Montgomery, Alabama has been making history by people who had the courage to stand up for change. Today, this riverfront city has been reborn, embracing the past and looking forward to the future. From the National Memorial for Peace and Justice to the stage of the Alabama Shakespeare Festival, this is where history was and is made. We are proud to call Montgomery home, and together, we can be the change.
The top HBCU programs in the nation come to Montgomery, Alabama's Riverwalk Stadium this May 11th through 14th for the Black College World Series. The best Black college baseball teams in the NCAA Division II and the NAIA will battle for Black baseball's ultimate prize. Games will be streamed live at www.mybcsn.net. Tickets are available now online at www.blackcollegechampionships.com.
Oh, that spin class was brutal. Well, you can try using the Buick's massaging seat. Ooh, yeah, that's nice.
Can I use Apple CarPlay to put some music on?
Sure, it's wireless.
It's something we all like. Okay, hold on. What's your Buick's Wi-Fi password?
Buick Envision 2021.
Oh, you should pick something stronger. That's really predictable.
That's a really tight spot. Don't worry, I used to hate parallel parking.
Me too.
Hey.
Really outdid yourself.
Yes, we did.
The all-new Buick Envision, an SUV built around you, all of you.
There's a shot to right. It could be. Right field. Grand slam. What a shot. That's how you get hot, young fella.
Thank you guys for what you do for HBCU athletics. This is a fantastic avenue for all of us. This is our ESPN, so we love what you guys do, and all you guys at BCSN. We really appreciate what it is that you guys do for us.
The Road to Montgomery is brought to you by Bob James, attorney at law, the City of Montgomery, Tuskegee Federal Credit Union, the Montgomery Biscuits, and the Central Alabama Sports Commission.
We're back here on the Road to Montgomery, exclusively right here on the Black College Sports Network. So we're going to start with the NAIA schools. So, Michael, first up is going to be your alma mater, the Edward Waters Tigers.
Edward Waters University, formerly Edward Waters College. Big step up. And the baseball program is really been stepping it up here lately. They are they've won 9 of their last 11 ball games, including upsetting 2 ranked HBCU teams. They beat Miles the weekend before last, 2 games to 3, and then they turned around and swept the #1 ranked team in the nation in Savannah. And this is shocking because if you would have known what Edward Waters was doing at the beginning of the season when they were 3-13 compared to what they are now, they're 20-21. And what was said to me the other day from the Savannah coach said that they're playing like they're exposing teams' weaknesses. They're taking advantage of everything that that was thrown at them. They have been able to respond. This is a pick the click. I'm going to call them the pick the click. If they make the Black College World Series, keep an eye out on Edward Waters. Pitching
All
and
right.
hitting and stealing is putting runs across the plate.
All right. So while Edward Waters has done good in those weekend series, the midweek games has been what's killing them. They had a loss last week to Thomas University. They lost on yesterday to Flagler College. This weekend they have Benedict. They should sweep that series. And then they have a tough one to finish up against Albany State, the Albany State Golden Rams. Next up on our list, Michael, is going to be the Lions of Florida Memorial University. Let's get into these Lions quickly, Michael.
Hot team right now. Great pitching, great hitting. They started off the season, beat the number 6 ranked team in the nation. And then 2 weeks later, they beat the number 18th ranked team in the nation. And then the defense started collapsing. Coach Tito Burgos decided to tighten up, made some changes. And now they're on a winning streak. This weekend, they took 2 of 3 from the nation's number 7 St. Thomas team, a team that is known to put runs on the board and outscore its opponents. They got held. Florida Memorial won the first and the last game of the 3-game series. They got blown out in the second game, but they responded well in the finale. They came back, and kudos to Burgos because he made mid-season changes, and now you're starting to see a team that is not only are they beating the ranked teams, but if you remember in Montgomery last year, that they pushed Xavier to the brink of the championship. And I think that they are really prepared to make some noise this year at the end of the season. And also, they're one game out of being in the Sun Conference. I would keep my eye on Florida Memorial, not because they're out of Miami and it's always warm year-round, which we love down here, but they're playing good ball. And you can't ask for anything better than when you're slumping and you make wholesome changes, and then you're putting up big wins.
All right, they let's see, they won yesterday against Ave Maria 7-6. They've got a big weekend series coming up against Southeastern University, and then they finished the season at home against Kaiser University. All right, Michael. So next up on our list is going to be Harris-Stowe State University from my hometown of St. Louis, Missouri. Harris-Stowe slumping a bit of late, Michael.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the program. There's something happening internal that they don't want to talk about. It's making its round, and it's affecting the baseball program. Don't know what it is, but they've gone in games that they have normally done well, and nobody's playing well here. I hope they turn it around soon. I hope when they turn this around, because that's a good ball club. A young coach, 24-year-old Pernell Roberts, former player, 2017, 2018. He was on the team that won 30 ball games back to back. They were one game away from going to the conference championship. He knew what it takes. He took over the program right at mid-season last year, and they did pretty good. They finished the season strong coming into the season. They were like 4 or 5 games over 500, and now they're 6 games under. So,
Speaking of Michael, they opened the season with the 6-game winning streak to open the season. Then they had a mid-season streak where they took 4 of 5, but unfortunately, Harris-Stowe, the Hornets have lost their last 9 in a row. I would love to see a team from my hometown playing in Montgomery, but don't think it's going to happen. Payne College, Michael.
Payne. Some people say they're surprising. I say no. They transitioned down from the Division II into the NAI, the NCCAA, National Christian College Athletic Association. Payne, It's got some of its old players from back in the day when they played in the SIAC. Well-coached team. Kirby Marshall won a national title while at Edward Waters in 2010. He's got some young players coming in mixed with veterans. Started the season off. They're on a little bit of a losing streak now. They're 16-9. I expect him to reach that 20-win plateau in a matter of a few weeks. Payne, I really would like to see them in Montgomery. I think they would be a good fit to upset some ranked teams there. Small balls is the game.
Payne had a doubleheader against Benedict today. Do not have the results of those games as of right now. And then they finished the season.
Actually, that game will be played tomorrow.
They have a doubleheader today against Benedict, and they finished the season this weekend with a 3-game set against Carolina University. So moving on to the Rust Bearcats. Michael, talk to us about Rust.
Rust, if you remember, they were in the World Series last year. This year, they opened the season against Mississippi Valley State, a Division I program in the SWAC. And all 4 games, they got beat in every direction. That was a turning point for them. Since then, they've gotten more wins than they did last year. They have 16 wins. They're 16 and 12.
16, 13, and 1.
Yeah, yes, that's right. That was that one tie. And what they're doing, everything they can. You know, I'm a big fan of small ball. This is a small ball team. They're not looking to power the ball over the fence. They're not looking to try to outrun you to death. They place the ball where you're not, and it's putting up big numbers.
All right. According to Rust's schedule, their season is over after their doubleheader yesterday against Crawley's Ridge. Rust having won its final 6 games to end the season. So they will end the season above 500, which is a good recipe to get into the Black College World Series. Next up, Michael, is going to be the Tornadoes of Talladega.
What can you say about an HBCU program that plays 20 to 25 games against top-ranked teams across the nation? What can you say about the strength of their schedule is unparalleled. You can't touch it in any Division II, Division I, and NAIA program. Marcos Dominguez, the head coach, good recruiter. He gets these guys come in and they bust their tail for him, and it shows every year. They have this one saying, and I'll be quick about it. Their one saying is, we want to take on the ranked teams because that's how we like it.
I got you. Well, they had a big series today against. They had a single game against Miles today. They have Loyola this weekend, and they finish up the season next weekend. Well, excuse me, they got a bid week against Reinhardt next week, and finish the season against William and Carey. Our last NAIA before we go to break, Michael, is going to be Zula Gold, Xavier of New Orleans.
I'm a little shocked that they're 2 games below 500. I'm a little shocked on that, knowing that I know the coach Adrian Holloway. I know that they've had some rainouts, but this team is loaded. I thought that maybe they would be right at the top of the pack in the Red River Athletic Conference, one of the most rugged NAIA conferences in the nation. But I know Adrian, he's going to probably right this ship going into if they make the conference, there's a good chance that they could upset some teams. They haven't played their best baseball yet. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, well, just suffered a loss to Loyola of New Orleans, which dropped them to 16 and 20 overall. They'll get back to 500 over the next couple of days. We've got a 3-game set against Jarvis, which they should sweep. They've got Arkansas Baptist on Tuesday, but they finish up the season against Louisiana Christian, which will be a real tough game for them to finish up the season against. All right, Michael, what we're gonna do? We're gonna take a break right here. We are going to then we'll come back with the the NCAA teams to watch out for on the road to the Black College World Series. You're listening to watching the Black Road to Montgomery exclusively here on the Black College Sports Network.
From novice to aficionado, find yourself here. High quality cigars plus personal customer service. Slow Burn is Waco's only mobile cigar lounge, featuring a meticulous, curated collection of premium cigars. Visit our website, www.slowburnwaco.com. That's www.slowburnwaco.com.
For 200 years, Montgomery, Alabama has been making history by people who had the courage to stand up for change. Today, this riverfront city has been reborn, embracing the past and looking forward to the future. From the National Memorial for Peace and Justice to the stage of the Alabama Shakespeare Festival, this is where history was and is made. We are proud to call Montgomery home, and together, we can be the change.
The top HBCU programs in the nation come to Montgomery, Alabama's Riverwalk Stadium this May 11th through 14th for the Black College World Series. The best Black college baseball teams in the NCAA Division II and the NAIA will battle for Black baseball's ultimate prize. Games will be streamed live at www.mybcsn.net. Tickets are available now online at www.blackcollegechampionships.com.
Oh, that spin class was brutal. Well, you can try using the Buick's massaging seat. Ooh, yeah, that's nice.
Can I use Apple CarPlay to put some music on?
Sure, it's wireless.
Pick something we all like. Okay, hold on. What's your Buick's Wi-Fi password?
Buick Envision 2021.
Oh, you should pick something stronger. That's really predictable.
That's a really tight spot. Don't worry, I used to hate parallel parking.
Me too.
Hey.
Really outdid yourself.
Yes, we did.
The all-new Buick Envision, an SUV built around you, all of you.
There's a shot.
That might be. It could be.
Right field. Grand slam. What a shot. That's how you get hot, young fella.
Thank you guys for what you do for HBCU athletics. This is a fantastic avenue for all of us. This is our ESPN, so we love what you guys do, and all you guys at BCSN. We really appreciate what it is that you guys do for us.
The Road to Montgomery is brought to you by Bob James, Attorney at Law, the City of Montgomery, Tuskegee Federal Credit Union, the Montgomery Biscuits, and the Central Alabama Sports Commission.
From
Welcome back to the Road to Montgomery, exclusively right here on the Black College Sports Network. A.D. Drew here along with Michael Coker. Michael, quickly, before we get into these teams, tell everyone where they could get tickets to the Black College World Series at.
Tickets are now on sale at the Black College Championship website. If you go to the website and you click on the link that says ticket sales, you will run across some really interesting ticket prices. $13 for which includes a meal for the kids from the middle school. There are day tickets, and all-day tournament pass is $80. I think that's a great price. Day passes range from $15, and then there are lawn seats for the kids. So if you want to see a first championship event, go to Black College Championships. You can order all the tickets you want.
All right, Michael. One of the teams who probably will need to order tickets at the rate that they're playing ball is going to be the Albany State Golden Rams, Michael. So let's talk about these Golden Rams.
Playing good ball right now. They're not a team that hits for power. They're putting the ball in play. Great defense. Probably one of your better defensive teams in the SIAC.
Albany State currently 24-8. But Michael, let's be real. Everybody's going to be looking east this weekend, they've got Savannah State. And that's going to be for the SIAC East title, that 3-game set they have against Savannah State. Game 1 is Friday at 6 p.m. And the doubleheaders on Saturday begins at 1 o'clock. So they'll be playing a doubleheader on Saturday. 1 o'clock. And then the second game will follow on Saturday. So nothing else needs to be said. Look to that matchup against Savannah to see who's going to be the number 1 seed coming out the SIAC East this weekend. Then they finish up the season with Georgia Southwest, and the way Edward Waters has been playing, that's not an easy series that they're going to finish the season against, especially when you have to travel to Jacksonville, Florida, right there, Michael, to face your alma mater.
Yes.
So moving on down the line, last year's defending champion, go Big Blue, Bluefield State, Michael. What about Big Blue?
Big Blue went through a very rough schedule. Top-notch team, probably the toughest schedule they've ever had since the program started. Kind of showed some of their weakness. Surprising because they have good pitching. They got a good infield. They just didn't put it all together. And, they could finish the season strong. Kind of shocking that they didn't, games they should have won, they didn't. And maybe they'll right that ship, but I think it will help recruiting next year.
Yeah. They picked up a big victory on yesterday against UVA Wise by a score of 16-11. They had Emory and Henry today. Got a big weekend series against Virginia State. You're going to hear that name in a few moments. This weekend at Virginia State. And then it's Petersburg, Virginia, if I remember that correctly. And then they finish up the season with Allison Lloyd and with Shepherd. Moving on down the line, Michael, we have Kentucky State. The Thoroughbreds.
Kentucky State, their weather's breaking, starting to play better, getting out of that cold weather, getting out of feeling chilly. They had a rough weekend against that school down in Mobile.
Spring Hill.
I'm having a brain cramp here. Yeah, Spring Hill. And Spring Hill. And Rob Henry, good coach, right this ship. The weather's breaking. Normally when the weather breaks, Kentucky State goes on a winning streak. And it's been their history.
All right, Michael. They have a tough one against Miles this weekend. Oakland City University. And then they finish up the season against my alma mater, the Tuskegee Golden Tigers. So moving on down the line, Michael, those Miles Golden Bears, Michael, the other team from Alabama. Obviously, we know that they will be playing Kentucky State on this weekend. What else can you tell me about Miles?
Miles is a streak. Earlier this year, they went on a 13-game winning streak. The nation's second best for the Division II baseball programs. Streaky team. Won some ball games. They hit a ton. Defensively, they can struggle a bit. Sometimes the games they should blow teams out, their defense lets them back in. But overall, this is a team that will score runs on you. Don't matter who you are or what you are, they will find a way to plate some runs. And I expect them to do that the remaining part of the season.
Well, like you said, they won 13 in a row, followed by 5 losses in a row. Miles has won 3 of their last 4, but not an easy road to finish up the season. They had Talladega today, results not in. Kentucky State this weekend, West Alabama in a midweek next week, and they finished the season down at Mobile at Spring Hill. So Golden Bears, they're 21-15 right now. They'll either be close to 30 wins or they'll be below 500 the way that their schedule is, especially as streaky as they've been. They've been hit or miss. Savannah State. We mentioned Savannah State has Albany State this weekend. Michaels, tell us about Savannah State baseball.
Savannah State is 28-9, and they're ranked in the number one team in HBCU baseball. And they're also the number 8 team in the National Collegiate Baseball Writers Association South Region top 10 poll. Bit of a losing streak. They also won 12 ball games in a row before they got swept by Edward Waters. I think going into this series against Albany, I think that they're Edward Waters exposed what they're doing. Didn't handle bunting too well. Edward Waters beat him in all facets of the game. I think that Savannah's going to, Albany's going to get exposed that. I think I'm going on a limb and say I think that Albany's going to take 2 of 3 from Savannah. But it's going to be a good series. It's going to be the winner that comes out of this series. It takes command of first place.
Yeah, and after the Albany series, they have a pretty easy finish to the season, finishing up with a 3-game set against Benedict to end the season on next weekend. Michael, don't rag on my alma mater here. What can we say about Tuskegee?
Tuskegee always finishes strong towards the end of the season. Ever since Reggie Hollins came on as coach, that's his MO. That's his makeup. I expect them to make some noise. They make the conference tournament. You got to remember, he's got a young team. He's got a team full of freshmen, so they're really learning the collegiate game. And I think Reggie will guide them because they've had some good wins this year. They beat a good Alabama. I think it was West Alabama. They upset a really good team. What has helped them was the preseason when they went and played Auburn. They got their tails handed to them, and they've been playing like a good ball club ever since. I expect them to make some noise in that SIAC conference tournament. I don't think for 1 minute that they may not make that second round. I think they will, and I think they'll take it from there.
The Tuskegee probably has the greatest, the best, as they call it, a good win, the best win on the season when they defeated AUM, who was ranked in the 50s overall when they defeated them earlier this season. Stillman yesterday, Montevallo today, Spring Hill this weekend, Kentucky State next weekend. Moving on down the line after Tuskegee, and we'll go quickly through these two. Virginia State, Michael.
Good ball club. Low scoring game. You don't blow them out, they don't blow you out. How do I see them? I think they'll finish the season currently where they are now. I think that they're 2 or 3 years away. They're building the program now with the young kids. They used the transfer portal. Didn't really load the program up because they set out the year, an extra year because of COVID. And I think that they're starting to prepare for next season.
Virginia State with a 4-game set against Bluefield State. That's a doubleheader Saturday and a doubleheader Sunday. And Salem University next weekend to wrap up the season. Last team, Michael, West Virginia State.
Surprise. Really surprised. Last year, they only lost 1 player, big RBI guy. Last year, they went to the NCAA Division 2 Regional. More was expected them to come in. But according to Sean Lloyd, their head coach, they're injured. They're hurting. The entire infield is dealing with injuries. They're starting to get better. Last weekend, they beat the number 4 ranked team in the the East Atlantic region of the National Collegiate Baseball Writers Association top 10 poll. And then it got them back into the Mountain East tournament. They're 1 game out, So If it gets a healthy ball club, there's a good chance they can finish the season and make the conference tournament and win the conference again for a second year in a row.
West Virginia State currently in fourth place in the Mountain East Conference. They have West Virginia Wesleyan College in a 4-game set this weekend. They should take at least 3 out of those 4, if not all 4. They have Davis and Elkins next weekend. Once again, they should take at least 3 of those 4. But the University of Charleston that they have to wrap up the season is going to be tough for this particular team there, Michael. All right, Michael. We get ready to pick up this show and get out of here. Did you want to quickly go over the Black College Nines rankings that came out today, Michael?
Well, we might as well.
At least the Division II portion of the rankings. And for the Division I, the large school rankings, you can log on to www.blackcollegenines.com to find out where your favorite large school is. SWAC, MEAC, and North Carolina A&T. See who's in that top 10 poll. Quickly, Michael, go over the let's go 10 through 1. Start with your receiver votes and then go. No, we're not even gonna go receiver votes. Let's go 10 through 1. Small schools. Quickly.
Coming in at number 10, holding that number 10 spot is Talladega. Moving to the number 9, Kentucky State. Entering the poll for the first time this season, Edward Waters College. West Virginia maintains in number 7. Rusted College is at number 6. Payne drops down to number 5. Florida Memorial moves up 1 to number 4. Miles in at number 3. Savannah State is your number 2 ranked team, and moving into the top spot for the first time this season is Albany State Golden Rams. These are your top 10 for HBCU baseball.
All right, quickly going over the Black College Sports Network computer rankings. Top 5 Division II. Number 5, West Virginia State, 121 points. Number 4, Kentucky State, 140 points. Number 3, Miles, 157 points. Number 2, Savannah State, 168 points. And number 1 is Albany State with 175 points. Quickly going over the NAIA top 5 in the BCSN computer ranking. Coming in at number 5 with 123 points is Xavier University of New Orleans. Coming in at number 4, Edward Waters with 129 points. Coming in at number 3, Talladega, 146 points. Coming in at number 2, Florida Memorial, 161 points. And the number 1 team, according to the computers at the Black College Sports Network for the NAIA, are the Rust College Bears. So there you have it. Next week, join us as we reveal who the 8 are. We will reveal the 8 teams that will be coming to Montgomery, and we're going to talk to the chairman of the selection committee. No, Michael didn't choose them. I didn't choose them. There was an independent committee that will choose these 8 teams, and we're going to talk to the chairman of that committee and find out what they discussed on those Zoom calls that they were having for the entire month of April. Michael, time to pick up this show and get out of here, my brother. I appreciate you joining me once again here on the road to Montgomery. So and also thanks to our special guest, Gavin King, local boots on the ground there in Montgomery when it comes to the Black College World Series. So for Michael Coker of Black College Nines, this is A.D. Drew of the Black College Sports Network, and we will see you in Montgomery. We'll holler.
Yo, straight from Alabama. This beat is from Youngstown. Was on your hiatus. Watch me, I'm woken up. Now the industry was hurting, but I done bandaged her up. Now I got too sick with it. Now we done found us in a pro sound. Look, I be tearing the speakers up and we shaking the whole ground. Found pros in this profession, we calling that profound. Studio in every city, I'm calling that yo town. Some of these words that I'm using make me wanna throw down, but I got humbled in my veins and learned to tone it down. Major league when I'm pitching, I'm needing the pitchers, man. Shake the room with my powers and knocking the pitches down. Trying to teach you business first and put your pitches down. Yeah. Major, 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 major league. Major, 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 for major league. Major, 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 major league. Major, 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 major. We major league.